Welcome. I'm Mark Anthony, and you're listening to The Psychic and the Doc. Welcome back to the Psychic in the Doc. I'm Mark Anthony. I'll tell you, whenever I'm on air with Jana Short, the time just flies by. And Jana, I think we should go to the phone. Let's take another call. Jacob, who do we have on the line?
Henry from Texas, you're on with Mark and Jana.
Hey, Henry, how you doing?
Hey, Henry, are you there?
Yes.
Perfect.
Hey, Henry, this is Mark Anthony. I'm here with Jana Short. How can we help you?
Well, Mark, I'd like to find out. I used to believe in, like I said, luck and stuff like that. But I'm finding more and more that it's not luck, but it's more like blessings, like gifts from God. I'm finding out that it's not more so luck.
That is a really beautiful way of putting it, Henry. Because we use the word luck for a concept to describe. See, luck can go both ways. There can be good luck and bad luck. And what you're describing is positive energy, which is a blessing from God. And so what I'm getting is that this is really interesting. I keep getting all these, when I'm connecting with the spirits around you, I keep getting lots of images of angels. Now, I don't say this lightly. I'm not one of these psychics that pulls out angels and unicorns and bunnies. I only say something if I get it. And when I get images of angels, this indicates to me that this could mean someone, either you or connected to you, has an affinity for angels or collecting images of angels. But it could also be a trigger for the name Michael. So there's somebody, and of course we all know Michaels, but it's because of Archangel Michael I get this trigger. Does that make sense to you in any way?
A little bit, but not quite.
All right, a little bit in what way? Go ahead.
Well, I do know people who believe in angels and collect angels. I know that my wife's mother was real religious, and her dad was too. And I'm thinking that could be part of what's going on. But I was always told.
Go ahead.
I was always told when I was a kid, when I used to do things that, my mom and them would say, "Oh, you get this from your grandfather on your dad's side." Well, I'm wondering if things can get passed down through generations from the other side.
All right. When you say things, what do you mean by things? Because if you're talking about, go ahead.
I like being creative. I like building things out of wood. I do stuff, scroll saw work. Somebody has something that's broken on a piece of furniture. I usually get it from them, duplicate it, and I usually don't charge anything. I've made toys for kids and things like that. But they said that one of my relatives in Finland used to do Admiralty model work on ships. And it was all wood. And they always said, well, you take after him, so he's so crafty and everything. But I don't know if it's that or if, like I told you earlier, if this is all like a blessing from God, that he sees the skills and the want that I have to create.
Jana, what's your take on this?
Well, I feel like even the negative stuff we get sometimes is a blessing from God. We just don't see it yet. And I believe 100% that we do carry things from our ancestors that are ingrained in us that we have no idea that even went on. And so when they're saying that you take after, is it an uncle?
I think it's going to be more of a great-great-grandfather. I've never met the man. He passed before my dad's family came here to the United States. So I've never met the man, but I've always had the urge to make things out of wood. I've built wooden ships as a kid. I've built wooden planes, and now I'm getting into building furniture. I built my wife her first piece of furniture last year, and it's just amazing me and putting me in awe that this ability is coming more and more out of me at my age.
Well, let me ask you this. You can get your eyes from a grandparent. You can get your smile from a great great aunt. You can get your hair color. Why couldn't you get part of your essence from your past?
Yeah, I'm hoping so, because I'm really enjoying what I do, and I would like to pass it around or be able to make extra income on it. But
Well, there
right
you go.
now, I feel, yeah.
Hold
But
on.
right now,
Hold
I
on.
feel that that's not my direction.
Right, but you see, this is your manifestation. This is your positive mindset, and it's leading you to a creative endeavor. And working with wood, there's something to me sacred about working with wood. Maybe it's the way I was raised. Believing in Jesus and his stepfather Joseph, working with wood and being carpenters. There's something very
Exactly.
special about working with this, and now you're manifesting it. Also, I was part of the Ancestral Healing Summit through the Shift Network recently. And there were several different speakers, and I was one of them. And we talked about how the spirits of ancestors can actually connect with us and transmit to us healing, positivity, high energy. And from everything that you're telling us, and with Jana's input, that sounds exactly to me what's happening. And the fascinating thing, Henry, is you realize it. So you're asking about it because you're thinking about it. And when you're thinking about it, that means that you are picking up on a signal, which is what I call a frequency beacon from a spirit. And this is all very, very positive. So Henry, keep at it. You're on the right path. Do it to it. All right. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
All right. So, Jana, I want to talk a minute about Best Holistic Life magazine. Now, is this an online publication in addition to being hard copy, or how does Best Holistic Life magazine work?
It is. It is a digital online magazine because I consider myself a global influencer, and I want, when I put something out there, everyone to be able to get their hands on it. So it's digital, but it's also in print on Amazon. And I literally created this magazine because I'm all about sharing stories like the caller we just had. Like, they're so powerful and they reach out in this world and start resonating with others. And the more I started putting these out, the more people were asking for them. And we built that magazine to over 240,000 subscribers already in just over a year. So they definitely want to hear those messages of hope. They want to be educated by experts. One of my favorite writers is you, Mark. So thank you. I love your story that's coming out. So yes, it's been a real fun journey for me putting that magazine out. It's kind of my baby.
Well, I do have to say this part of manifestation, and hint, hint, I'm giving away a little bit on the next article that I'm submitting for you, Jana, is yes, you need to put the positive energy and the positive thoughts out there, but it also has to do with your environment. And you have to surround yourself with other high energy thinkers, high performance thinkers, positive energy people. What's that old saying? Birds of a feather flock together. And, I surround myself with positive people like Dr. Pat Baccili. Dr. Pat and I have been on her show for years, and, people would call in, I'd do a reading. She would add her street smart, spiritualist, behavioral, no nonsense, uplifting advice. And it just worked. And so Dr. Pat and I decided to create this show, The Psychic and the Doc. And then I don't even know how I came into contact with Jana. And I keep thinking like, and we clicked right away. And then I realized it's because when the opportunity is there, the door will open, and it's up to you to go through it. And so I consider Dr. Pat and Jana Short two of the high performance thinkers that I like to surround myself with. There's other people involved with projects that I'm working on. Certainly, my producer and manager, Rocky Trainer, she's always positive, always finds the Italian lemon ice and the lemon juice, and there's just a lot of very, very positive people. And the thing is, you've got to surround yourself with people that are going to lift you up. And that's one of the things, and that's one of the things that I find very appealing about Best Holistic Life magazine, is because holistic, even though it's spelled HOLISTIC, to me it's WHOLE-istic. It's mind, body, soul. It's a whole cross-disciplinary approach, and I think that is very, very important. So, Jana, how do people subscribe to Best Holistic Life magazine?
They just go to bestholisticlife.com and hit the subscribe button, and we will do the rest. We'll deliver you your magazine every time a new issue comes out.
Fantastic. Jacob, I understand we have Greg from Minnesota on the line.
That is correct. You want to bring him on?
All
right
right, let's go to Greg.
Perfect. Hey, Greg, you're on with Mark and Jana.
Okay.
Hey, Greg, how you doing? Thanks for calling into the Psychic and the Doc.
Yeah. About 8 years ago, I had a reading with you, and right now, I've been going through a hell of a couple of years here. My wife, we were married 20 years, and she passed away. She was 64 last August from.
I'm sorry.
Ovarian cancer.
It's okay, Greg.
She had a 2.5-year battle with that. Anyway.
All right, hold on, Greg. I think she may be stepping forward. And hold on. I think she's stepping forward, and yeah. I mean, I know you indicated that she had like a 2.5-year period that was very difficult. But she is explaining to me the spirit communicating with me, the female energy. It was a long decline, and I get this sense. I feel this tactile sensation of two hands clasping. I never like to jump to conclusions, but I really get the sense that you were right there holding her hand when she transitioned. Does this make sense to you?
Oh, I absolutely was.
Okay. I
mean,
it is the most
that whole time. Yeah.
Greg, it is the most beautiful sensation that she's transmitting to me. I don't know if you're on video, but I actually feel this clasping, and I feel that the two of you were holding each other's hands so tightly, and she said she knew that you could feel the energetic life force drifting from her body. And what she wants you to know, Greg, is that was the most beautiful way that she could possibly have transitioned. She loves you more. She said, I love him more than my physical life itself. And to have him there holding my hand, she said, it made my transition from this world to the next so beautifully. And Greg, I mean, I'm sitting here and I got tears coming to my eyes because she's projecting the emotion of love, how very much she loves you. She does know that you feel broken and beaten down, but she's also telling me that one of the things that she always loved about you and does still love about you, Greg, is how damn resilient he is. And that's exactly how she put it. She said, you're like a piece of bamboo, you know, it gets bent, but then it springs back up. And she said that even though you've been beat down and you feel like you're smacked around, she said that you are very resilient, very strong, and you always find that inner strength. Jana, any input here?
Well, Greg, I felt your sadness literally the minute you got on the call. I felt your energy, and I am so grateful when those spirits come into my life that impact me as strongly as your wife impacted you. And so, I mean, what a great journey the two of you have had together, right?
Yeah, she was only 64, and she was looking forward to her grandchildren grow up, you know. And
oh, Greg,
she's
not missing a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's not missing a thing.
And you know what, Greg, that's your job is to let your grandchildren know what their grandmother was like and tell her really happy stories about her. And she said, and if you don't do that, she said, I am going to haunt you. And she's laughing. She is like, this woman had a wicked sense of humor on her, Greg.
So she's doing okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah, she's in the light. I mean, she's laughing. And she's drinking a cup of tea, but she said, but I always like something a little bit stronger. Does that make any sense?
No, she never liked that. She never drank alcohol hardly at all. Maybe some wine.
Oh, wine's a bit stronger than tea. Okay. Well, Greg, thank you so much for calling in. God bless you.
Hey,
and I'm very sorry for your loss.
I've got another question.
Sure.
I just was diagnosed with prostate cancer. You have any, it's supposed to be a low risk, but I'm going to start radiation in 2 weeks. Is there anything you have on that?
Yeah, what she's telling me is that you need to go over to the alkaline diet. You can look that up on the internet, but basically the alkaline diet is you're going to have to eliminate the heavy fatty red meats, anything that turns to acid and sugar in your body. All sugar has to be completely eliminated from your diet. And then you also have to, she's telling me that you also have to start incorporating eating like raw ginger and raw garlic. And of course, there's the lycopene and the saw palmetto, but the alkaline diet is going to be essential to you to working in tandem with the radiation. And then, of course, drinking lots of water to keep yourself hydrated. And the interesting thing about the alkaline diet, you can alkalize your water. You can go buy the real expensive alkalized waters, or just get a regular bottle of water and put a pinch of baking soda in it, and voila, you've turned a 10-cent bottle of water into a $4.50 bottle of alkalized water. And what it is, even though your body's pH system levels are tightly regulated by the body, by adding the alkaline to it, sugar turns to acid. Cancer feeds on sugar. Cancer thrives in an acidic environment. So what you want to do is deprive the cancer of what it feeds on. And that's why she is telling me to tell you to do the alkaline diet. So there you go.
Yep. And her last words to me were, I love you always.
And she still does.
Anything about a...
Greg, I got to get some callers. I can spend all night with you. So God bless you. Call back. Call back in and let Dr. Pat and I know how you're doing. All right. Thanks. Okay. Do we have Debbie from Illinois?
Yep. And we got Debbie. You're on with Mark and Jana.
Okay. Yes.
Hey, Debbie. How you doing?
Hi. How are you?
I'm doing well. You're on the air with me and with the incredible Jana Short. How can we help you?
Okay, I want to kind of talk to both of you. Okay, mostly Jana to start with. Okay,
all right.
On the manifestation, many years ago, I was in a relationship, and I had 2 daughters with this guy, and we always remained friends, but we split up. I ended up getting married, and he remarried. She hated me. I never did anything to her, but if I would call my ex and say, hey, or I'd say, could I talk to my ex? Well, you can just talk to me. So there was like a jealousy thing there, and I hated it because, for one thing, it made me mad because it was like, this is not about anything but our children. But anyway, so one night she really made me angry. I had a dream that night. And I had a dream we were sitting in my mom's living room, who's passed now, but at the time we were sitting in a circle of chairs. And my ex was sitting there, and he handed us both a wedding ring. And that kind of freaked me out. Well, I called my mom, and I said, because my mom knew there was trouble there, and I said, what do you think? Because my mom was pretty gifted. And she goes, well, what do you think? I said, I would like a decent relationship. And she says, well, work on it. And I said, it's really hard because she is dead set against me. Anyway, so I started turning it around when I said, hey, Trish, this is what's going on. Could you please tell Mike to call me? And it started changing a little bit as it went on. And I kept on saying, be positive, because I wanted my kids to have a relationship with their dad and her and not feel no friction. So I kept on being positive, and I could see it coming if I allowed it, and I kept my cool, which it did turn out to be meaningful. I had to really push at it, but all of a sudden, then she finally started giving in a little bit. She started trusting me. Long story short, they ended up having a baby. I used to be a foster parent, and the baby was born real premature. And anyway, we had family dinners. We actually bought our house.
Okay, so Debbie,
where they live.
We only got a few more minutes that we're on the air. Can you crystallize down to a question for Jana?
Okay, but the relationship turned out good.
So
And
Debbie, let me tell you what you did. You did the manifestation, right? You decided what you wanted. You changed your energy. People react to your energy. If I go out and I feel like I'm running into nasty people, I look in the mirror.
Right.
And I know that the energy I'm putting out that day is what I'm attracting to me. Once you changed your energy towards her and made a decision on what you wanted and started moving it towards that, like you made a mind map to go there, look what happened.
Yes. And it did work. Yes.
Good job. Now do that with everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I do. I use manifestation quite often.
And Debbie,
it's been really positive.
You gave us such a good example of how you turn, I always call it, because I'm of Italian descent, taking lemons and turning it into Italian lemon ice. And that's what you did. You took an acerbic and bitter situation and turned it around. It all comes down to when you project love. Okay, that doesn't mean everyone's going to be singing Kumbaya with you, but you are going to get through to the right people. Debbie, thank you for calling. Call back in and check with us again. For all the other callers, please call in next week. I'm going to be back here with Dr. Pat. And Jana, please let everyone know how they can get hold of you, and so how they can sign up for the High Performance Thinkers Summit. It's a free summit online. Also for Best Holistic Life magazine. Also, it's free to subscribe. Jana, how do they do that?
They can go to janashort.com and they'll find links to everything that we just talked about. You'll find there.
Fantastic. And anybody who would like to find out more about signing up for a telephone reading with me so I can spend an hour with you, and we're going to get a lot of people coming through. Also sign up for my newsletter. Please visit my website. I invite you to visit my website, evidenceofeternity.com. And that's evidenceofeternity.com. And the Psychic and the Doc will be back next week with the amazing Dr. Pat. And I want to thank everybody for calling in. And this has just been a really great show. Jana, I especially want to thank you. You're a good friend of the show, and you really are a global influencer. So everybody, many blessings. Namaste. Have a good day.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning into the Psychic and the Doc with Mark Anthony and me, Dr. Pat Baccili, right here on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Hey, look, come back next week so we can explore with you more of life's many challenges and learn from fascinating guests. And you know what? Even Mark and me. We'll connect you and discover insights from people in this life and from the afterlife. Extraordinary problems? Yeah, they do. They require extraordinary solutions. But step into the world of possibilities with us on the Psychic and the Doc. That's every Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on TransformationTalkRadio.com. That's TransformationTalkRadio.com. And don't forget, we're also live face-to-face on Facebook.com, Transformation Talk Radio.